Hey, 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 hey. Okay, we're gonna get everyone in. Okay. Hey, everyone. Hi, everyone. Happy full moon. Hi, Rama. Hi, Diva. Oh my gosh. Hi, everyone. This is so exciting. Okay. Welcome all. We just got the Zoom going. We got the YouTube going. We're about to call in. Let's make sure everybody can hear me fine. Good. Okay. So, technologically advanced here we are. Hi, everyone. It's so nice to see you. Thank you all for being here. Okay. Full moon in Pisces, y'all. Full moon in Pisces. I'm just double checking the live stream over here. Great. That's going. Okay. Hi, everyone. Let's take a nice little deep breath together in through the nose. And hold it for a moment and breathe it out the mouth. Okay. Welcome to the EdibleSpirit full moon Zoom for the full moon in Pisces, which is occurring at 1:21 a.m. Wednesday morning. That's Eastern time. So you can do the math wherever ye might be. Let's see, just admitting someone in. Okay, so why do we do this? We gather here thus far every couple weeks in order to basically synchronize ourselves with the natural cycles of time as opposed to the more unnatural cycles of time. Unnatural cycles of time being those that we impose upon the bizarrely mathematically accurate and astute motions of the planets and the sun and the moon and the stars. But I used to reject full moon astrology because it was too much information for me. And I want to understand like big picture stuff. But the thing that's lovely about moon astrology is that it's very immediate. It's very personal. And when we deal with the new moon and the full moon, we're dealing with the moon's relationship to the sun. Sun's in Virgo. Across the sky in Pisces is where the moon is chilling. The moon in Pisces is picking up all of the rays of the Virgo sun and reflecting it back. So usually with full moon astrology, we're looking for a balance between the energy of wherever the sun is and the energy of wherever the moon is. Virgo, ordered, methodical, practical, down to earth, tangible, systems oriented, compartments, organization. Pisces, not so much. The exact opposite. It's just like, oh, okay. So the way we start this little gathering that we're having is to talk about the Fuck Me Update. Okay, this is our current events section, the Fuck Me Update, which is a combination of astrology and whatever we've been cooking this week. So I'm going to pull that up for you. But main thing to know about this Virgo sun full moon in Pisces is that they are the opposite. We had this weird thing happen, which was that we had a new moon in Cancer kind of late, and we're going to have the new moon in new moon in Leo and kind of late, and then we're going to have the new moon in Cancer just before, sorry guys, new moon in Leo kind of late. New moon in Virgo comes just before the sun enters Libra. Okay, so it's weird. It's almost like we get a new moon, which ushers in a period of new patterns, new energies, just newness right before the sun then moves. So we just had that happen with Leo, new moon, right before we went into Virgo. Leo energy is expressionistic, outgoing, outward flowing. And then 2 days later, so we set patterns having to do with our authentic selves, our hearts. And then 2 days later, this energy kind of descends of like, the sun's in Virgo now. We got to get our shit together and be more organized and orderly and all this stuff. And we're going to experience that again with Virgo, methodical Virgo, okay? Pisces full moon is the weird little anomaly in the middle of this Virgo and Libra situation. Pisces is the last sign in the zodiac, and it connects you to literally everything. It makes you feel everything. It makes you see everything, think everything, smell everything. it's about endings and also not really new beginnings. It's almost like Pisces is about like the ending and then the dissolution into the void, from which Aries is the spark that kind of reemerges. So in the middle of Virgo season, even though we haven't had the new moon in Virgo, this is our whole point. In the middle of Virgo season, Sun in Virgo, this Pisces energy is coming in, trying to get us to touch everything and feel everything and dissolve into everything, while the Sun is being like, get your shit together, get your shit together, get everything in its box, put everything in its container. There's a place for everything, you know, deal with it all like that. So it's a weird moment. So what's the connection? The connection is that Virgo rules daily practice, service, healing, the body, the diet, exercise, all this stuff, right? But it also rules service, right? What we do for another. So this is a very edible spirit idea, the core of the philosophy of this company that I've built up over many years working with all of you, which is that service, we have to take care of ourselves using diet, exercise, routines, lists, order, structure, in order to be able to do our service for whom? For everyone, for Pisces. And the thing about Pisces is that it connects you to everyone and everything. So it almost encourages an empathic overload. So it's like Virgo Sun is asking us, what are we going to do about this feeling of connection that we have to everybody? Or what are we going to do now that quarantine and isolation and all of the things that are going on have made it harder to feel that connection with everyone? And then just very quickly, the rest of the astrology is all fire, Mars, Pluto, Aries, Chiron, just like all of these big collisions. And it's all over the stars that society is supposed to be falling apart right now. Okay, so why? So that we can learn to take care of ourselves in whatever situation we're in, whether we're safe at home or on a front line or on top of a mountain somewhere, taking care of ourselves, getting organized so that we can do something with this acute increased psychic sensitivity that the Pisces full moon brings into the collective. That's your fuck me update, okay? I wanted to give you guys food as well, so that I could, I had a recipe, but we got to get into having Paula come in, our very special guest. Let's see, anything good? Okay, nothing in the chat, love that. Any questions from anybody about anything that was just said, or comments or concerns or anything, you just throw it into the chat, or type it out and we'll come get to you. Okay, so let's see, fuck me update. Anything else from that? Oh, yes. So the EdibleSpirit foodie scopes are up now on IGTV. That's 12 signs, 12 horoscopes with a snack. If you were a snack, you'd be ... So we give you real astrological readings in a short video format with a little snack at the very end of it. And we did something cute this week, which is if you go, and this is for the full moon astrology, so you'll get more insight and information into how this works for you, sun, moon, rising sign. You can look at any of those. And again, see what resonates in terms of getting your shit snatched so you can do what your acute sensitivity is compelling you to do in service of humanity, the collective, the movement, the light, the life, whatever. Bread and butter, core of our practice. You stick with us. We will be talking about service until we stop breathing. Okay. I'm going to bring in, I'm just pulling one thing up. So we have, after this, we have our very special guest, Paula Carlotto is coming in. We're going to call her in just a moment. Very exciting. She is the queen of good vibes on Larchmont Boulevard. Ooh, she's one of the queens of good vibes on Larchmont Boulevard. We'll put it that way. Okay. Let's see. I'm going to just make sure. Great. We're connecting this link. So what we're going to do is we're going to bring Paula on in just a moment. What we're trying to do these days, you guys, is really focus this time around healing and healers. And another part of EdibleSpirit is we believe everybody's a healer. We believe you're a healer. Your mom's a healer, your dad's a healer, your sisters, brothers, whatever your family looks like, all healers. Psychic work, intuitive work, crystal, sage, whatever you're using in my practice, it's meant to increase awareness so that you can heal yourself, discover who the fuck you are, what you love, what is delicious to you, and then carve some kind of healing practice out of that. It doesn't have to be crystals and tarot cards. It can very much be your, mathematical gifts as an accountant. What are you using those gifts for? Your gifts as a cook, right? If you work as a chef, right? What are you using those gifts for? And one of the things that we find is that as people start to do more spiritual work, they start asking questions about path and purpose and what am I doing here and what are my gifts. And what our practice, what the Edible Spirit practice is based on, is that if you work with this stuff long enough and start dipping your toe into questions of service, what are my gifts? What am I here to do? How do I turn my gifts into something useful for others? Psychic powers start opening up. And then it's like, why am I having these visions? Why am I hearing these things? My heart and what all the sources I work with lead me to believe is that we get medicine so that we can give medicine. We get intuition so that we can spread intuition. We receive light so that we can spread light. So we want to have people on this show that at least I consider a healer. Hopefully they do too, but if not, we will not rest until they acquiesce and admit such a thing. I mean, we won't be pushy like that, but you know what we're saying. But Paula, I don't think we're going to have too many issues with her. Let's get her on here. Okay. Hello, my angel.
Hello.
Hi. Namaste. Nice to see you. Okay. Thank you for doing this with us.
I love you.
I love you so much. Okay, what I want to ask you, Paula, is the question I intend to ask everybody who does this with me. How are you healing? How are you healing? How are you healing?
How I am healing. Well, it's interesting because, I live day by day, and I do, besides I have to do stuff, because I have a business and my daughter and everything. I try to feel what I want to do and I do it. If I don't know, it's, beside all the healings I do, of course, I love crystals, I use sage, prayers, to get me focused, I love the prayer in the morning before I leave the house. But, I use essential oils, meditations, but, I try to be gentle with myself because this time is really tough. It's really, really intense, and I'm sorry to everyone, but I believe the quarantine is a blessing, it's a beautiful space we have, the greatest space we have to recalculate our life and see where we were and when we don't want to be anymore. So I try to see where I am and I try to work the issue I have in that moment, and whatever the only way is going through, that's it. So,
well, the only way is going through, but I think a lot of us humans can sometimes get stuck going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth, right? So through is beautiful. Through is the middle path. And what I just want to say, so I want to just ask one question. So in terms of your own personal healing practices, it sounds like you use all these different tools, which you have access to, right? Good access to at Alegria Bazaar, right? But that you use them to contact your own intuition and you use them to say, what do I need in this situation? How does this work? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
one day, maybe it's going to the beach, I don't need, I'm going to the beach and I clean myself because I need it, I need to release energy, because right now, even healers, they cannot heal, on the bed, you know what I'm saying?
No, right. There's no spaces, right?
Right now. So I believe this is a time to use our intuition and use the tools we have, whatever we have, you know, like to heal ourselves or evolve, you know, because I believe one of my favorite words is evolving, you know, like evolution.
Yeah.
And, you know, and
well, and in terms of astrology, evolution is represented by the planet Pluto. I mean, all the planets to some extent, but Pluto is that force of evolution which destroys old forms so that new forms can be born, right? But there's a beautiful term too that's called liminality, right? Liminal, the liminal space, the space between things. But in terms of when you're doing ritual, when you're doing magical ritual, the liminal space is the space within which who you were at the beginning of the ritual is no longer, but who you become by the end of the ritual is not arrived yet. So there's this space where all bets are off and the old forms are gone and the new forms have not yet arrived, and yet here you are. So one of the other things I want to say is I believe too that healing is all about your own heart, and any healer worth their salt will tell you it's not about me healing you, it's about a healer working with you to facilitate that awareness, because someone can tell you what's true for you, but if you don't know it's true, you're not going to be healed. It's just going to be in your head. You know,
and you need to, you know, you need to give permission to yourself to listen your intuition, because sometimes, you know, like people is like, you know, like they listen something and they go anyways, and it's like, what are you doing? It's like, you know, so, you know, I believe this kind of like quiet time in the way, you know, like help us to understand we don't need to push anything, you know, we need to be gentle, we need to listen our intuition and go for it, you know, like.
I love what you say about being gentle too, because I've been noticing with myself and a lot of people that I really love, we think about all these things that we've lost and all these things that we can't do, but there's a very spiritual idea that, you know, if we're sourced in creation, we have infinite potential and infinite resources within ourselves at all times, right? So really the idea, we talked about this before, but the idea of divine self-sufficiency, that the divine within us, right, that is us, has everything because it is everything.
Totally, yes.
Totally,
we
right?
have all the tools, yeah. It's like...
Right, so what I think I've noticed during my own quarantine is that when some kind of anxiety or some kind of fear, some kind of lack rises up, that even just working with my nervous system, oh, I'm looking at Rayma right now as I'm seeing this. Naomi Rayma and I had a great conversation back in the day about the nervous system in the beginning of quarantine before George Floyd, about what do we do with ourselves in this time, and what do we do when we feel pain or when we feel overwhelming emotions or when we feel anxiety. And so that's all I just wanted to say off of what you said, because I know how you work a little bit, that remember, you guys, that divination practices, cards, oracle cards, astrology, all that stuff, yeah, you can use it about events, about things that are going to happen or things that you want or whatever, but you can also use them as self-healing tools where you say, okay, what do I need to work on today? Or what should I meditate on for the rest of the day? You work like that sometimes, right, Paula?
Yes, I do a lot of oracle cards too, you know, like, and I love them because sometimes, you know, like, I mean, or sometimes, you know, I just ask what I need to learn today, you know, and you pull just one card, you know, per day, but, you know, like, I don't know, I believe that one keep the hope and the spark on, you know, like, and not getting into the big shit, you know, like, like some, you know, so it's like, you know, sometimes it's that card, like, tell you, you know, like where you are or where you going, you know, and it's cool.
This is something I was going to ask you though, was about your, I almost wanted to say this to you. How many cards do you pull when you pull a card? But you already told us. She pulls one, you guys, one card, okay?
But then one, and once a week when I'm going to the beach and I like to do that, you know, I do it 4 because I like it to see the direction of the week, you know?
But I don't know if anybody here has ever dipped their toe into tarot, right? You know that feeling where you're like, pull one card, I'm gonna pull another 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 card, and you're like, what does it all mean?
It's so confusing. I did that last week, actually.
But I think it helps to remember that all these different systems, if you really, this is why we do, why anyone can, but I feel like, you know, tarot readers that work a lot, have a preparatory ritual where you do the thing that you do to get yourself into the zone so that you're not pulling cards like, what's it mean? What's it mean? What's it mean? So that you're present, so that you're reflecting, so that when you pull that card up, it's like you're looking into yourself, not just the deck, because the cards don't have the meaning. The meaning is created between you and the cards, or, you know, if you're the reader, or if you're getting a reading from someone, between you and the reader and the cards. It's a dialogue, you know, an ongoing conversation. Right.
No, totally. Yeah.
Yes. Miss Diva says, when you pull a bunch of cards, you're not ready for the real answer. That's good to know. Yes.
I want to see Diva. Where she is.
She says hi. She says hi.
I can see now. I can see now.
Okay. So you guys, okay. So Paula, so one of the things that I wanted to just ask you also is, I like to try to ask this question in two parts. How are you healing? What are you doing in your day-to-day? But also, how are you healing others? Especially, I know what you're like. Paula Store Alegria is just so great. Everything's curated. She makes beautiful jewelry. She's got incredible artists that work there. She's invited so many of us to work there and do readings there, all this stuff. But I want to know, because we haven't really checked in with this, how do you see yourself as a healer in the world now? What are you providing, or what is the medicine that you're making, or what's the relationship between you and the store and the customers and the big sort of healing bubble of the universe?
Actually, you know, like since the quarantine, you know, like since March 16, you know, my store is closed, but I open by appointment. So now, you know, I know how, you know, in the beginning was 1-to-1. Now it's no more than 3 people, you know, but what I like to do is empower people. It's like, tell them, it's like it's okay to not be okay, you know, like it's okay to not be okay. We need to allow ourselves to not be okay, you know, like to feel the way we feel, you know, that day, you know, and if you're tired, get the nap, you know, like, or I don't know, it's something I try to empower people, because to tell you the truth, you know, like not everybody recognize the tools they have, or you know, or sometimes, you know, like sometimes I see like really like healers or whatever, really powerful people too, you know, and they say, you know what, I feel like that. And I try to encourage them, because, you know, like I believe in this uncertain time, you know, it's too many questions, you know, like it's too many, where we going, what we doing, what is next, you know, like I believe in this moment, you know, like even, you know, like, we were one person before the quarantine. Now we try to recognize the person we are now. You know, I believe we are in that stage, like, you know, recognizing who we became, and the thing, because, you know, I take off a lot of things in my life, and I add a lot of really good things in my life. I'm cooking more, I'm gardening. It's like, you know, I'm creating more, you know, like I'm a creative. So, you know, like I try to put people into art, or coloring books, or I don't know, like, you know.
Well, no, I mean, I that's how I felt coming into your store in the first place. I mean, in a way, Paula, tell me if I'm wrong here, but what I'm hearing behind what you're saying is that you're really helping people to be empowered, to use their intuition, to trust themselves, to be able to hear their own voice, to be able to show up and get a read from themselves, right? Because I mean, that's the idea too, is that all the tools that we use are really just to guide us back to that sense of inner knowing, or inner empowerment, an awareness that what my perspective is valuable and valid.
And I believe it's a time to be raw, to be like who we are, who we wanna be, you know, like be honest and have integrity with ourselves, because, you know, like before we were rushing a lot, but now, you know, like we have more time to I don't know, to connect to ourselves, to the people who you love, and I believe it's, I don't know, I love this time, you know, like.
Well, I think, you know, I've noticed with a lot of people, just as a general thing, and then we're going to go into your AuraPic, but I've noticed that, you know, I sort of believe that everything in the universe is an opportunity for healing. Everything, if you look at it, can act like a mirror to show you what you're ready to work on, or what's coming up for awareness, or what wants to be released, or what wants to be integrated, or whatever. So I sort of believe that everything is an opportunity for healing. And Jody said, too helpful to remember that literally everyone on the planet is being affected by this thing.
Totally.
we are usually so connected, but by what? By like internet wires, you know, and like an event every once in a while. But this thing has really brought us together. And then the murder of George Floyd and all of the Black Lives Matter movement that's grown up since then, right, connects us even more. So again, though, we always got to remember, some people feel very uncomfortable feeling connected in a Pisces way. It's too much. It's overwhelming, right? Because
too much
not everybody's
right now. Yeah,
so much going on, but also not everybody's playing with, you know, love, right? Not everybody's trying to help. Not everybody's trying to heal. So I think people are so conditioned to be not trusting, you know, that getting connected with everybody can be doubly, triply, quadruply overwhelming, you know?
You know, today I was talking with a friend, you know, like, and I say something like, I choose to be the change, you know, like, because the system is really fucked up, and I'm going to be the change, you know, like, I'm going to try every day to do something positive to the world and the equal right, and to not discriminate anyone, and just smile and give love to people. That's it. And support. Sometimes, you know, you just listening to someone, you know, like you healing with that, you know, like you healing with listening or smiling or say, oh, you know what, I love the color you have on, you know, like people is like, we need more that, more attention, you know, to each other.
But again, that's just presence. That's just this thing, you know, I always say this too, to clients and to people, you guys, that the most extraordinary thing about yourself is probably the thing that you take for granted the most. And I wonder if you guys hear this amazing being here that's basically just talking about presence with us and what she does to get present and how she gets others present and what presence can do. So I think it's really important to remember that, for me at least, you know, and healers that I respect, the goal of a healing or a reading is never to fix you or even to do better. It's actually just to change something or to move something or to see something differently. You know, it doesn't have to be gut-wrenching, and sometimes even the tiniest shifts can be the most gut-wrenching, right?
Yep.
Okay. I got everything loaded up for you here now, you guys. Okay, so this is one of the really fun parts of this gathering together, is that I get to offer Paula a little healing here by giving her a little AuraPic. So if you guys have seen this before, if you've had your AuraPic drawn, you'll know what's about to go down. If you have not seen this before, get ready. This is AuraPics, which we offer to people privately, as well as in groups of 3 or more, all done digitally, all done over Zoom, except it was this lady, Miss Paula Carlotto, that actually hosted the first official sort of display of AuraPics. I did one party, but Paula was like, come to the store.
For Valentine's Day, do you remember?
It was Valentine's Day, and we offered it together.
Unconditional love, and that happened. You remember?
And we squeezed each other and geeked out because we were both like, I believe in unconditional love. I believe in unconditional love. Let's give these AuraPics to everybody for free for Valentine's Day for unconditional love.
It was a beautiful day. It was a beautiful day. I remember that day. I have chills.
I have chills too. And what I'm seeing now, this is interesting. So what comes up for you first is we see this really cool blue color, which is a dark indigo blue. And it's showing up where sometimes I'll call it like the, Maleficent place where it kind of shows up like a collar. Oh, of course. Oh, Paula, of course it is. So this is Yemaya blue, right? We got it coming up around your throat. Blue in the AuraPics project tends to represent learning through theory as opposed to learning through practice. So you're exactly right in terms of slowing down, meditating, listening, not just to your intuition, but to the wisdom of your elders, to the wisdom of the spirits, the ancestors, sure, but really the teacher spirits that you honor the most are close to you and are communicating with you, usually because there's something that you're learning that is like karmically on time. It's time for you to learn whatever it is that you're learning now, okay? We'll see what it is in just a moment. But it's showing up around your shoulders, your throat, your face, your third eye, your crown. And this blue is really just saying, yeah, so it's connected to what you say in the world, what you present to the world, what you offer to the world, but also your sense of responsibility. And this thing just keeps going off and off and off in my head, which I actually wanted to ask you. So I have a theory, which I've tried out with a lot of people that I've worked with, that we end up making the medicine to treat however we were poisoned in the first place. So what I want to ask you, Paula, have you felt before whatever the opposite of empowered is?
Oh, yes.
And did that have anything to do with your desire to empower other people?
Probably, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what I see here is just this sense that, oh, interesting. I was not expecting this. Okay, so there's green, a lot of green showing up in your belly. And sometimes when this happens like this, it indicates a severe kind of line, but green is the color of harmony and the color of the heart and love and trust. And what this actually tells me is that you've moved through a big ego struggle, that there was something about yourself and how you thought you were being seen or what you thought you were putting out into the world, which was maybe driving you crazy and making you feel fear, right? Like, what's going to happen to me? How will I be seen? And then what this says to us is that you've not only moved through it, but it's almost like you really have a sense of trust in who you are and who you've become. And you really get to practice this now. It's not going away. So that's why I think it's in the middle of your aura, because it's sort of saying, look, like it's either below this level or above this level, whatever you're going through. You're either devaluing yourself, undervaluing yourself. I don't think you're overvaluing yourself, but it's almost like you're either above the line or below the line. See what I'm saying? You're either above the line or below the line. So it's a lot of energy there. And I think this is connected to that question of empowerment, because I would go so far as to say you've broken through feelings of limitation that made you feel disempowered. Does that make sense or resonate?
Yes, yeah.
And recently too?
Yes.
Okay. So you guys, this is important. This is why we do this. This is why we asked this awesome person to show their aura to you, because I wanted people to be able to connect the dots and say, yes, Michael, I did just break through some shit. My ego I did just crash through my old ego limitations. But yes, there is harmony here now. And I do have a new sense of a standard for myself that I don't want to fall below, that I want to stay above. Does that make sense?
Yes.
The spirits around your head, the teachers want to teach you about this now. I would say, I'm remembering an old book by Sonia Choquette that was called Meet Your Guides. I didn't buy everything in it, but I liked you're a fucking Virgo too. There were a lot of Virgo compartments. You have joy guides, you have food guides, you have life guides, you have sex guides, you have party guides, you have all these different guides. I think you're working with the joy guides. Not that you needed more joy, but I think we're meeting you in a moment. Everybody's meeting you in a moment right now where it almost used to be, oh, great, Spirit, your guides are telling you, write this in, okay? It was almost like it used to be joyful or else. Okay. And now what's cool about this is that be joyful or else, it's at your feet. And what's happening here is it's getting crossed out with red, because again, it's like this had to happen. And is there more? Yeah, see, and then they want you to know that you're grounded. What I would say is that prior to the last couple of weeks, you might have been a little cuckoo-luku. There was a little delusion, because what this is saying is that your feet are firmly planted now and they weren't before. Does that ring true?
July was terrible.
I see her cracking up. I don't know if all you guys can see her cracking up too.
July was intense. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Welcome to this world, everyone. This is where we live now, right? So what's cool about this though is that the or else is gone, the be joyful is there. So all of this is to say, Paula, I believe that the spirits that are working with you are joy guides. I keep hearing Maitreya. I keep hearing a Buddha, Maitreya Buddha. I don't know the actual background lineage, but I would say look into that Buddha.
Okay.
And then also read up on joy guides, spirits that make you joyful. You might want to start a new altar to a couple joy guides with new crystals. And because the thing of it is like I said, it's this blue comes in when the spirits are teaching us something. So it's not like you need to learn how to be joyful. It's just that you thought you were full of joy before, but it was almost a reaction to a fear of being disempowered, right?
Yeah.
And now it's not that. Your feet are grounded, you're solid, you're anchored, and the spirits want to teach you that this is what joy actually feels like, even in the midst of all the bullshit that's happening in the world. You see what I'm saying?
Funny because I have a dream like a couple of days, like they say, eliminate the bad thoughts and create good thoughts. That was a woman, like, I mean, in
like
the
dream?
Huh?
In the dream, there was a woman telling you this.
Yeah, and she was telling me that, I say, that is a guidance, it's a tool they give. It's like, yeah.
I would ask, one of the things, you guys, if anybody's ever wondering about how to connect to their guides, I always just, basic information is just start building a relationship with them. You want to always check the vibrations of what you're connecting to. You want to say, only the most loving, purest love, full of love, loving entities of the light are welcome into this space. And you're also checking in with your own body, your own emotions, so that if you say, are you benevolent? Are you an entity that is of the light, spirit guide, and you feel a tightening? Just put that shit down, light some sage, turn the lights on, and eat something, right? But if you feel the goodness and good feelings and warmth, even if guides are firm, even if they're telling you something you don't want to hear, it should feel affirmative, positive, uplifting. It shouldn't cut you off at the legs. So that's what I always try to tell people is connect, send a message out there, sit in meditation. And this is what I'm advising for you, Paula, is just send a message out there saying, hey, if you were my joy guide, if you're my guide, whoever you were, and you got more to teach me about joy, make it very apparent, make it very obvious. I'm okay. And the other thing I tell people is make it like a volume knob. So you say, okay, joy guide, if that's your real name, that was at a volume 4 intensity. I could handle it, I think, at like a 7 or an 8. Okay. And then if they give you a 7 and 8 and it's freaky, you say, no, thank you, spirit. No, thank you, guide. That was too much for me. I'd prefer it back at a 5. Right. And this is a way of testing the spirits, right? So that you're not fucking with something that doesn't have your best interest at heart. If you tune into your body and how you feel, you can usually get a hit that this is not an expansively loving energy, and then you can disengage and step back from it. But in your case, Paula, I think open up, maybe take dictation. I just feel like you've made a connection with this guide and you want to sort of keep that line open. Say thank you if you'll feel comfortable. Ask them if they have a name. A book for you guys, if you're into this too, that I used a long time ago, was by a person named Sanaya Roman, which was called Opening to Channel. That was one of the first books I ever read about channeling, and everything kind of took off after doing that. But be careful with channeling, especially Pisces full moon. Never practice alone. The veil is very thin. The intuition is very high. But again, just reminder, now that we've had Paula's AuraPic come out, I'm like, is there more? Is there more? Yeah, no, just more guides. More guides that come in that are showing up as pink spirits that are also ancestor spirits. No, it's not that one. Sorry. We gotta just do this one. There we go. So you got pink. There's like these pink blobs all around you. So again, it's like you see the green of the harmony. You're learning new things. You're grounded, but also you got some shit to learn now so that you don't go back, so that you don't repeat past mistakes. And the guides and the spirits are not just going to teach you how to be more joyful, but they're going to show you, wow, you thought that day 3 years ago was the best day of your life. Today, not shit even happened, and you know it's the best day of your life. Okay, good. Okay. So you guys, so you see, this was about a 10-minute long AuraPic. When we do these in privates, we book them by 30 minutes and 1 hour. But if you do it in a group, we not only do we lower the rate a little bit because we want to work with you collectively, but we do groups of 3 or more, and then everybody gets like 15, 20 minutes. If you book me for longer, you can get more time individually. We just try to make it flexible because we really believe that this kind of collective healing that we do, where we air our dirty laundry in the presence of people that we love that are also ready to work and ready to heal and ready to be present and ready to use the tools and ready to discover the service and share the love and spread the light and all of that, that's why we're here. That's why we're here. Okay. So my dear Paula, I'm going to send this to you tomorrow.
Thank you.
And now we're going to stop this old share. Okay, so let me just check in with everyone. It's hard to handle people who don't want to heal, honestly, especially when you personally do. Very difficult. It's important to try and then move on. Okay, I think it is. I think, Diva, it might have been the second one where we first met, because I don't remember. I remember drawing an AuraPic in the first one, but not the second one. I mean, not in the first one, but in the second one. Okay, so you guys, Paula is here. She knows some stuff. She has beautiful spiritual practice. She's got amazing tools and crystals and things. So if you have questions for her, come on through with those. You can let us know in the chat. Just let us know, I have a question or I want a reading. And then I'll do readings. I'll ask her to weigh in if she wants to know anything or wants to add anything to what we're talking about. We do have our buddies watching over there on YouTube, which is super cute. But with you guys, you are the ones that are here for readings. So does anybody want a reading? Does anybody want to ask either of us a question? You can, I think there's a way that you can wave, or you can just tell us in the chat. I can see you all here. There she is. Okay. Okay, great. Amazing. Okay, so let's come to y'all. Hi, buddies. Hi. Are you here? Did I ask you to do this? Oh, wait, hold on. Okay, Diva wants a reading. Great. Okay. Yes, I think we can get to you guys because we really don't have anything else to do but chat with you. Okay, good. So, are you there? Are you there? Oh, that's Raymond. Okay, no, Iman Hassan. Okay, got it. Got you. Okay. Iman. Okay. Let's see. Iman. Hi there. Hi, moms. Hi. Okay. Yeah. So, you know, the thing is, what I don't know mom's name.
Oh, sorry.
What site? Okay. So you've got what I see for you. I'm asking a question of my guides to say, what is the most healing insight and information that we can offer right now to this beautiful soul who's joining us and opening up for a reading, first one to open up. And all I see here is a little bit of schmeck on your shoulders, my dear, okay? The shoulders represent responsibility, what we feel responsible for, what's weighing us down, what's burdening us down. And I'm tuning in to your, it's interesting. I want to say that you've lightened your load so tremendously over the last couple of years. You've laid down burdens, and that you've tried to lift yourself up and lighten up in some ways, elevate your perspective in some ways, not take the small stuff so heavily, right? In other ways, give me a thumbs up or a nod if this makes sense to you, or like if you want it. You know? Okay, good. Two thumbs up we got. Okay, great. So this is the message. There's the tiniest little thing hanging on, and it's on the left-hand side of your shoulder. And it feels to me like there's a little bit of pride hanging on to this idea that there's a certain amount of help that you cannot accept. There's a certain quotient of receptivity and vulnerability, right? And opening yourself to what you need in order to support you, right? There's a part of you that's holding on and that doesn't want to do it. I would just say to you that that's the only thing that is still keeping you down. I don't know how that's possible in this day and age, but I think that you figured a lot of stuff out, stuff that I hope to learn someday. I don't know how you've learned it, but I hope to learn it someday. And all I'm saying to you is you've got like a little baby dingleberry of pride telling you, I don't need help. I don't need support. I don't need anything, right? And I just say, like, you know, the dance move that's like, hey, it's light. So to lighten up, okay? Okay, that's your read. Kisses, we're blowing kisses. Okay, great. I love this. Thank you. Okay. I'm gonna go on to Sam. Oh wait, no, Sam, I gave you a read in the first beginning. I'm gonna come to you later, okay? I'm gonna come back to you. Diva, where's Diva? Let's ask Diva. Okay. Hi, my angel. Come on in. Yeah.
Hello.
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 Okay. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. Okay, so I did Diva's AuraPic ages ago. And it was a similar feeling, but this is different. Okay, so I bring my hands to my heart center and the spirits are like, yes, 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 yes. Okay. Prayer, bitch. Prayer, 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 prayer. Okay. There's a line of dialogue open between you and source. This might have something to do with the Pisces full moon as well. There's this clean channel of openness between you and source, right? Between you and the universe, higher self, yes, but feels bigger than that. That wants to kind of cradle you from where you are right now to where you need to go so that you actually don't have to ask for anything. Okay, so what's required when you're cradling, right? What's required is to relax and release into the arms, right? And just to let yourself be carried. But in your case, I think the message is a new kind of, or just a deepening of prayer, of that idea of sitting in communion. This is not about meditation either. This is about prayer. This is about an offering of gratitude and an acceptance of grace. Okay, it's about thank you and thank you. Thank you, thank you, and thank you. Right? It's like, whoa, so much grace. And you know, I was baptized Greek Orthodox. What the Greek Orthodox monks, I used to think they were really cool. I didn't realize, you know, they were dogmatic and orthodox, but I still think their spiritual practices are very cool, which is that they mortify their flesh. They deny themselves everything so that they might someday be not enough of not a piece of shit that God bestows grace upon them, right? They're just really holding out. But along the way, they're like, you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner, you're a sinner. Please, God, come through, okay? The reason why they get grace, I don't think is because they dispense judgment. I think it's because they sit in communion with God, with their higher self, right? With weird miracles happen all throughout the Orthodox Church. And I'm like, why does this happen? They're not nice people. They've said terrible things to me. Why? Right? And I would just say, it's like, we've also seen faith healers do weird stuff, right? Things that you can't necessarily explain. I honestly think it's what Paula said to us too, that when you sit in prayer, you say, thank you for this gift. And in offering that thanks and in giving something away, something is received, something is transmitted. So I would just say, new prayer practice or deepen a prayer practice, go in. And during Virgo season, between now and around September 21st, 22nd, make it a practice, right? Full moon today, you know, so it could be a full moon to new moon practice, could be full moon to full moon. You could also wait until the new moon and run that for 2 weeks. But the idea is you want to make it like a somewhat regimented prayer practice.
It's a daily practice of doing my art, of like doing what I'm actually scared of sharing that I've been meaning to do. And that's, I need to do it and believe in myself and trust it and like give in and surrender. Like it's a whole thing. But
here's the best part. You just need, that's your communion. That's your prayer. That's
I know. I haven't gone today. I have to go do it today.
That's all you got to do is go pray. Go pray. And I would just say, pray every day. Pray every day. And remember that when you are making art, it's an offering. And when you make an offering, you receive grace. Okay. And let that be what feeds you. Okay.
Thank you.
Paula, anything to add, my love?
Yes, please. Is she still here?
Yeah, she's here. No, she's here. Anything to add?
Hi.
Anything you want to add to the read, Paula? Anything you want to say?
No.
Okay, great.
What about a crystal recommendation for an artist who wants to deepen their practice and get into their mojo?
Malachite.
I knew you were going to say that.
Malachite, heart-based stone. Ooh, that's a piece. Some people can't.
Malachite, amazing.
Yeah,
It's
it
amazing.
makes me nauseous. It's a really strong stone.
Maybe you need to go through.
I bet Paula was nauseous before she got that big old band of green in her tummy too. Malachite green in the tummy, honey.
There it is.
Malachite. I love malachite. I sleep with malachite. It's I have the malachite in my bra right now. It's good.
I can
Okay,
feel it.
I'm coming to Sue. Hi, Sue. Coming to Sue. Come through, Sue.
Hello.
Hi, Sue. What's your question? What you want to know? What you want to talk about?
I don't know if I have a question per se, but just like, I don't know, is there a message or something I should be paying attention to?
Yeah, it's okay. Great. My eyes got drawn up for you, which is to just say, definitely curate your vibrations right now. Definitely be regimented about what you're consuming, right? What frequencies you're allowing into your system. Because what I see is that there's, you want to be looking up, but you keep getting, your vision keeps dropping. Does that make sense?
I don't know.
Okay. No. So I'll explain a little more. So what I'm saying is a lot of times this read for me means look at the horizon or higher, right?
Okay.
Which is to say, if you don't, not to tell you what you're feeling, right? But when the eyes are below the horizon, it implies that you're missing the possibility of what's on the horizon or above and beyond.
Okay. That's fair.
And in your case, what I'm seeing is that it's almost like you're looking for a way. It's almost like you're looking for a way out, which causes your gaze to drop. Okay. It's like the desire to escape causes your vibration to lower dramatically and drastically to the point where it's hard to keep it up, right? It's hard to keep it up. So my point is, this is my energetic read. I pulled one card for you because I wanted to. It's from the Marcella Kroll Sacred Symbols deck, and it says release on it, okay? And it's about cutting cords, okay? So I would just add to this that in Virgo season, you want to make note of the things that give you that buoyant feeling, that keeps your perspective high, that raises your vibration, that doesn't make you want to escape, but that actually makes you optimistic, that actually makes you like, oh, I see clearly, I have more of a bird's eye view, I have more perspective, whatever it is that sort of lifts you up, right? You want to curate that and get more of that so that when you get pulled down, you can cut that shit out. But even more importantly, you draw a little circle around these things that lift you up, and then you cut away people, places, and things that get in the way of that buoyancy.
Awesome.
Okay?
Mm-hmm. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Very welcome. That's good advice for everybody in Virgo season, guys. Curate the vibe, curate the vibe, curate the vibe. If it does not make your cooter spin, cut it out. Okay?
Love it. Thank you.
Okay. You're very welcome. Let's see. Okay. Let's see.
Welcome.
Okay, great. Got it, Reham. Hi, Reham.
Hi.
Hi, Angel. Do you have a question?
I have many questions, so I think
Okay.
I'd rather just let the one that's meant to be answered come to you and I'll receive it.
Okay, so what's interesting here is that you've got the same kind of green that we saw in Paula, but it's blue and it's showing up in an infinity sign on the heart, on the chest, and around the breasts, okay? And what this symbolizes is it says, you know, you got that good. You know, you have that milk and honey, sweetie, to dispense to all the children who need to drink from your well. But you need to learn the value of that more, okay? And it's like the energy that's coming in here is asking you to negotiate love and trust And I don't want to project shade onto people, places, or things in your life. I would just say you could probably add a little bit of Sue's reading to your reading and say, try curating your vibe. Try looking for people, places, and things that make you feel whole and full and like you have more than enough to go around, abundant, plenty to offer, right? Because that's, oh, it's something I was going to say when we were talking to Paula too. The Hindu mystics will say that joy is part of our nature, that all the other shit, that we are joy, that we are full of joy because we are joy, and that everything that's not joy is a distortion or an interruption or whatever. So I would just say in your case that there's probably way more than one thing that's making you devalue what you have to offer to the world. And I would just say, I think you're going to be going through, if not for all of Virgo season, I think a portion of Libra season into Scorpio season. I think you'll be done with this cycle by like mid-Sagittarius. You got some shit to learn about how good your milk and honey is. Okay? Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Appreciate
Enjoy.
it.
Okay, good. We're gonna come to Rayma, and then let's see. Hi, my angel.
Hi.
Hi, Mama.
Yo, what's up?
So good to meet you. One of you guys, Mama Tess, I know. Correct me if I'm wrong, but you make amazing tinctures, right?
I do, yes.
Yes, you do. So what we do at the end of all of the horoscopes, or the foodie scopes, is we say, if you were a snack, you'd be. And the Pisces, for the Pisces full moon, if you were a snack, you'd be. It was like a triple mushroom superfood tincture of like chaga, lion's mane, and a little psilocybin, just like a tiny little baby little bit. Right? And because it's very Pisces. Pisces, I think Pisces are tripping all the time. I think that's why they're different. So, do either of you have a question or anything you want to know or anything you want to talk about?
Yeah, so there's a lot of shifting for me. I have like some 10-year goals and I have like a feeling, and Paula too, I'd love to have input from you too. A lot of things shifting and a lot of goals, and I'm seeing how like things that are kind of far stretched apart can be fitted together, and I'm feeling that coming forward. I'm also knowing that I'm being patient right now, but I'm also wondering like what's my most important, like what should I be doing next, really? Like where should I be focusing the most on my energy? Like there's lots of things. But
interestingly enough, I think remind me what your sun sign is, Rema?
Sag.
Great. So interestingly enough, fantastic.
Yeah, is it too lofty for my Sagittarius brain too, what I'm reaching for?
No, it is. I mean, that's what's interesting about it, is that Sagittarians this month, if I remember the horoscope correctly, are talking about you're on blast. If it feels like people are watching you, it's because they are, but like you can't really do anything about it. You can't really make any big moves. So I just pulled a few cards for you, and it's very much in here as well. You can't do nothing. You actually can't abstract it all. You can't back up. You can't look at the big picture. It will be too daunting. It will be too overwhelming. You want to use the Virgo season exemplified in the tarot deck here by eight of Pentacles to literally daily practice. You just because I know you, we've worked together before, Rema, this is your opportunity to really finally prove that you've massaged all of the sort of compulsively capitalist tempos out of your body, right? Someone said that to me, the tempo of capitalism ages ago, and it just makes so much sense, which is you're having to recalibrate your actual definition of work. And I'm reading this from the cards here. I would just say you need to work with your nervous system so that you can say to yourself, a little bit done today fucking flawlessly is way more important than doing it all and figuring it all out, right? That sort of burst, that comet rocket ship energy that you have, we're similar in that I was raised in seasonal work. We both performers too. It's like you can dance 8 shows a week as long as you know that you get a month off after 9 months or whatever it is. You need to know, but collectively, we don't get those kinds of deadlines right now. We're not getting those kinds of deadlines. We don't know what's going to happen when. So there's really nothing else to be done other than showing up every single day and advancing, moving the lines just a little bit. And my sense here is it, in a weird way, it's almost like you keep your nose to the grindstone and you don't even have to hope for the best. You keep your nose to the grindstone a little bit every day and the fruit just starts to drop. Just really starts to drop. Yes, I love this. So I asked the Kroll deck if there's any final little word. Just time, baby, just time. So that means time to pass, but I also just think it's about tempo, internal tempo, and how it lines up and matches with work tempo and schedule tempo, and what are my goals and what are my systems and what are my deliverables, what are my deadlines, what are all those things. It's weird because it's almost like you have to use all the skills that you've cultivated thus far, but you don't get to use them in the same way. So it feels like you have no skills at all. You are not the only one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Let's
enjoy this time of creation. Try to enjoy this time of creation. I believe, this is really important. I used to work with a chef, they say, no rush, but no pause, don't rush, create constantly, sometimes I'm jewelry designer, but sometimes, I don't know, I'm doing gardening, try to be connected with the nature, go to gardening, go to the ocean, try to ground yourself,
One of the things I love about what you're saying, Paula, too, is to, when you are a project-oriented or a task-oriented person, when you know how to deliver, it's a little disconcerting to wake up every day and go, okay, heart, body, mind, spirit, what are we going to accomplish today? Right?
I just love it. So I feel like, should I be feeling guilty about?
No.
No. Listen, I used to work 7 days a week.
Yeah.
7 days a week, no stop. When the pandemic started, I was like, fuck, what I'm going to do it? The first week I was feeling whoa, it's where I'm going, what I'm doing. You need to enjoy this time. You need to capitalize this time. Maybe it's a time for knowledge. Do something for you, for evolving, for get better, in your skills, learn something,
Yeah.
What I like,
I started a course. Yeah.
Because
this is just everything I'm doing, and I'm just gonna dig into it. I'm just gonna do it harder. I'm gonna do it harder.
What I like about this, what I like about the two things, though, is you saying, I enjoy this, I'm liking this. So the issue is actually no longer to deprogram yourself of the capitalist tempos. What it is now is using Virgo season to just practice. Virgo is connected with daily practice. So to just practice being this person, doing it this way with some trust behind it, and then just see where that leads you. Because moving the chains every 2 weeks makes a lot more sense than a 10-year plan right now,
Yeah.
Okay.
For sure.
All right, you guys, I could go with you all night, but we're at 9:05. So I want to respect everybody's time and have you all come back for more another time. Love you so much. Paula, I have one more question for you, my angel.
Yeah.
Okay. Paula, this is called deliciousness. What do you find delicious here on Earth that is currently making you feel divine, as though you're on another planet?
Oh, wow. Well, I found a lot of deliciousness in this quarantine, but beside that, it have to be food or?
No, I think that's really great. I might say something food, but I think what's really great about that is I think it's a bold statement to say, this is an annoying fucking thing here on Earth that's going down, but I'm going to use it to make it delicious so that it can be divine. You know, I think it's important, if anybody's felt guilt during quarantine for the privilege that they have or what they have, obviously donate, obviously get people to vote, but also just remember, you know, as long as we all survive all of this chaos, which I think we will, I think it's important to just remember that everybody is here to do something, right? Everybody is here to exist, to be, to radiate, to vibrate their note or their chord or their song. And that if you have something or if you're enjoying something, what I intend to do when all this is over is work to make sure that anybody who doesn't have what I have or who doesn't have the safety and security and privilege that I have is afforded that, is somehow given that. So I think it's so much more helpful to remember that your heart is good, your soul is good, and that you're here to radiate something to this world. And that if you have something good and it makes you feel good, even if somebody else doesn't have it right now, even if you feel guilty for having what you have, please try to treasure it and use it. And then just make a little promise to yourself that you're going to share that with someone now. And then hopefully when all this chaos is over and we can hug each other and, you know, everything gets better, keep giving that, keep sharing that. If you make delicious food, cook for people, volunteer for people. If you paint beautiful things or design gorgeous things, like do what you need to do now. If you can't figure out how to get your work to the people that you want to get it to, or you can't figure out how to help people you want to help, just fucking do you, and then make a promise that as soon as you can, you're going to spread this love and spread this light. So I really want to honor, Paula, your time and space in quarantine, and I really appreciate you talking about it because it's a delicate thing to say, I'm doing okay. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yes, no. But you know what? I believe, one thing, I did in this quarantine, I became vegan, in March, totally vegan. Okay. So, yes.
And she's Argentina.
Argentina,
They eat steak.
Thank God beyond meat,
Yeah.
No, but, what I feel, in this quarantine, I love cooking now, I found again, because I used to be a chef, I used to work in restaurants, but I lost that passion for a long time, and I was like the routine. Now I'm cooking, I'm cooking every day something different, I'm discovering new recipes. I'm learning Ayurvedic, cooking.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I love it. You know what? I believe it's so important to nurture your body, with good food and everything, like good thought.
Well,
joy. And, this is what we need to do. I believe we need to nurture ourselves, like from the food, from the food and from the energies around us, that's the most important thing, I believe.
There's an old Hindu aphorism too that says, Jnanam Anam, that food is knowledge and knowledge is food. And, that's what the whole vibe of my work is all about at Edible Spirit, is this combination of the delicious and the divine, of, heavenly food and accessible spirituality, all that stuff. So nourishing the body, nourishing the mind, nourishing the soul, nourishing the emotions, nourishing the space that you're in. I would say that what is delicious for me these days is to see all of the amazing people that I've seen start practices, start healing, start doing readings, start sharing, just this call to service that so many of us have experienced in this time. And that is really what Virgo season and even the Pisces full moon is about. Virgo season, we go back to the beginning of this whole call, right? Virgo season, getting us into fighting shape, taking care of ourselves, streamlining our practice so that we can, get so grounded that we can be as psychic as the entire universe, or take such good care of ourselves that we can then work to take care of others. I've seen this, and I hope that each of you guys remember this when the media is telling us that everything is horrible and is always going to be horrible. Of course, there are terrible things happening, but haven't you guys seen people helping, and haven't you too?
Yeah, we need to do it. We need to help. We need to be the change. That's the only way. Like the system is really fucked up. It's like, but every day, even the guys you see outside or help someone. Or, I believe that is our service every day. I believe is the best cure for this crazy world.
Great. Thank you, Angel.
I love you.
I love you so much. I'll send this AuraPic to you tomorrow. Thank you all to everyone who joined us today. Big kisses. I'm going to just give great thanks to all of you, to all of the guidance that worked with us today, to all the spirits that are around, the spirits of the land upon which we are, upon which you are, all of our ancestors, the ancient ones, the angels, all the guides, the ascended masters. Thank you to each and every one of you who showed up on this call today. Thank you to each and every one of you watching on YouTube. Thank you to you if you're watching this after the stream. Deep breath in, everybody, into your nose, and then breathing it out the mouth. Weirdly enough, this call is set up to be a healing session. So drink water, act as though you got a massage today, let shit go, make some lists, jot things down. Head over to the EdibleSpirit Instagram at EdibleSpirit for those foodie scopes. There's also links in the bio.
They're amazing. I love them.
You love them? Oh, good. Virgo got quarantine bread. Virgo, if you were a snack, you'd be quarantine bread, right? Like delicious sourdough that you might have.
Carbs, yeah.
Yeah, no, of course. But that you might have to make like 7 times in a row before you actually start to hit your groove. But you just keep making that bread. You got something better to do?
I know.
All right. So thank you guys, ediblespirit.com to join the mailing list. Like, share, subscribe if you're watching on YouTube. I love you so much. You are so delicious. Thank you all. Thank you all. Thank you all.
Mwah.
Bye.
Thank you. Bye.